where she is? She's sleeping. She took a day off. She's got no energy at all. Her speeches last for about 15 minutes. How do you take a day off? 14 days, you don't take days off, right? I've gone 52 days now. I got 14 more. We don't take days off.
Donald Trump last night in North Carolina talking about his campaign schedule, which we know has been very busy. Today he'll be in Georgia. Early voting, by the way, in North Carolina began last week. More than 300,000 votes cast on that very first day of in-person early voting, but we're hearing millions so far have been cast in all. Pleased to bring in right now Republican strategist, chairman of Texas Fort Bend County Republican Party and founder of GOPUSA.com, host of the 13-minute news hour, Bobby Eberle, and also Democratic strategist there in Bonn. Welcome into you both.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
I mean, I think we're all working harder than Kamala Harris. No joke. I mean, it really is sort of strange that she's taking a day off, Theron. I know that there's also all of these early voting numbers coming in. I don't know if that's weighing on her. The Washington Post reported the robust turnaround for early voting, especially for the GOP, which normally doesn't vote early. Is this weighing on her campaign, her insiders? What do you think they're telling her?
I think it is interesting that it seems that things are slowing down a bit for her. I know personally, I don't let my clients take a day off or take vacation within a certain amount of time of election day, and that's something I'm very firm on. So it's telling. I will say, I've mentioned a number of times before that the early voting numbers are scary for Democrats, as they should be, because typically turnout for Democrats in early voting is where they thrive. However, now it's seeming to skew towards Republicans this go round, and I don't know how that will fare for Election Day. I don't know if people are waiting, but I would encourage them not to. There are too many things that can happen, even if everything goes perfectly, we think. Machines could go down, power could go out, and so early voting is the way to go. But right now the numbers are favoring Republicans, and they're turning out more than Democrats, even in some very blue counties like the one that I am
scary. I mean, you said scary. That's not an adjective that they want to hear, Bobby. And there's also a lot of voters in Philadelphia. Black voters told MSNBC this. Let's play this.
At the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this.
I mean, you can't change your personality. That's it. You can go out, you can have the media try to prop you up, but it seems like there's problems here that there is no workaround for.
That's right. And that little clip in the longer version of it is so telling, because there have been strong female leaders around the world leading countries. And what they talked about in that clip was not anything about race or gender. It's just her particular inability to lead. And people can see that. The inauthenticity comes through. So they don't know what kind of leader they're going to get on the world stage if they see her changing her positions on all sorts of issues back home. And I have to agree with Theron on this home stretch. You know, part of my job is to get Republicans elected. And especially these last 2 weeks, I tell them to think of it as finals week in college, where you're either taking a test or you're studying for the test.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. That's your whole focus. And to see her taking days off is very telling.
She took the day off to tape an interview with NBC. Let's play a little bit of when she was asked about why her economic policy is not resonating with voters.
At the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this.
All right, so we don't have that, but she does talk about she has to earn the vote there, and polls are showing the election is neck and neck. Some of them are saying, that there is, this undecided vote, but it's small perhaps. People have already gone with Donald Trump. Nate Silver predicted a Republican success in 2016. And he's saying that, voters need to resign themselves to the fact the 50-50 forecast says 50-50. It may be close. There obviously is, no one wants to say complacent. As Bobby was saying, people have to still get out. Kamala Harris, though, continuing to not have clear policies, is that part of her also strategy? Because if her policies are on the record, people may just not like them. They might just be too radical.
You know, I said that, but maybe I said it in a different way. I think the reason that there is some gray area in some of her policies is because she may know herself that if she says them out loud, they will be viewed as unpopular. And that could additionally risk her chances at winning the office of the presidency. I've also said for quite some time that this election will be won mostly by undecided voters and independents. Most people who affiliate with a particular party and have done so for quite some time, most have already made their decisions. But we're also going to see a lot of split ticket voting. We may see some people that generally vote Republican for president that may not, and you may see it down ballot in Senate or congressional races, and the opposite for Democrats as well. I think that's going to be the real data that we should see, is that split ticket that comes out.
I want to give, that's great points. I want to give Bobby last 20 seconds here. The Senate's a big deal because there is a lot of vulnerable Democrats, and this is the biggest chunk that we'll see in several years for Republicans to possibly take control. A lot of money being pumped into these races.
Absolutely. The Senate's key, and it's looking good. It's how many races do we end up with? If you're talking about Montana, West Virginia, Pennsylvania is now a toss-up. Ohio picking up that seat. There are a lot of races in play, and it all goes together. When you see Democrat senators, such as in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, distancing themselves from Kamala Harris, and not only that, but embracing Trump, you know we're on the right track.
Yeah, the Bob Casey ad getting a lot of traction there. All right, guys, got to leave it there. We are so busy today, but come back real soon. Bobby Eberle, Theron Bond, always appreciate your analysis.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.